to Whiskey Live, a Friday night tasting of Michter's small batch bourbon. We are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, and we are strong tonight. Pretty much the active group, except for Young Nose Johnson, is not here. I myself am Jeff Mueller, Tiny. This here is
Rachel Mueller, Roxy.
We got
Super Nash,
Martin from South Carolina, and we have
Karen. This is Xavier.
and
Bill Verna, or, if you will, Xavier.
All right,
Yeah.
welcome tonight. We are going to do a live tasting of Michter's. Right now we are trying to share to the group, so we got a little bit of background off the bottle that Roxy is going to read to us.
All right, it says, we are proud to offer you our small batch bourbon. In the Michter's tradition, hailing from one of America's finest whiskey distillers. This bourbon is made from the highest quality American corn and matured to the peak of perfection. It's hand-selected charred white oak barrels. It is then further mellowed by our signature filtration.
Wonderful,
Nicely
wonderful. We are happy to be here. It's been a good amount of time since the last Whiskey Live. We have hooked up with Zavvey. Super excited for this partnership. We were doing this on Facebook Live, and it was called Whiskey Live Facebook Live, but now it's Whiskey Live, just straight up Whiskey Live. We are going to have the ability to have guests on from across the country, outside guests. Hopefully, we have a bunch that we've had on in the past to these Whiskey Lives, and people have watched. But those people that were watching before were kind of brought in on our phones, and were brought in through different ways of bringing it in to a Facebook Live video. But this, we have the ability, like Zoom, to bring them directly to us. So it's going to be pretty exciting going forward. But this is our initial broadcast launch, and getting excited to taste this Michter's. We got to hold on for a few seconds while we get shared to even more and more groups
You guys can
on
give yourselves
Facebook.
a few pours
But what
down
we're
here.
going to do tonight is we have a new bottle here, and we have an older bottle here that's been aging. So not only are we going to taste the Michter's, but when we're talking about, these are different years. And when you're talking about different years, keeping a bourbon, what would you say, consistent is a challenge for all distilleries. But when it comes to like a Michter's and what's been happening in like Buffalo Trace and other different in Jim Beam distilleries, it seems like the bourbon keeps getting better and better. And tonight we're going to try and see if that's actually the case. So I will start pouring now.
I already poured you in.
What, you already poured us?
Yeah, I can't reach
out
it
of this
there.
bottle?
Yes.
It's the only one I had.
We are going on this. There you go, sir.
Thank you, Tiny. That was really nicely done, actually.
There you go, Mrs. Xavier. What we're going to do, we're doing that. Just remember right now that we are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys here, and we are together. This is kind of really cool. We have a podcast. We're on all major podcasts, so check us out on look for us on the Scotchy Bourbon Boys on all the major podcast formats. But we also have a website, www.scotchybourbonboys.com. You can check that out, and many different ways. And there's our store. You can get these wonderful Glencairns. Another person that runs one of the Zavvey shows is Martin Duffy. He is also a Scotchy Bourbon Boy in our Scotchy Bourbon Boy group, and he was the one that set us up with these wonderful Glencairns with our Scotchy Bourbon Boy logo. Those are available on the website. The Scotchy Bourbon balls, check that out. Those are available. And then also T-shirts. Otherwise, we are on all the social media. We are on Instagram. We are on YouTube. Tonight, you can see that we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube Live right now. We are on Facebook. We have a Facebook group and page. We're also on Twitter at Scotchy The. And then also, if you can, please support us on Patreon. So we've covered that. I did that. Yep. There we go.
All right.
So you've shared to a majority of groups. All right.
Bunch of groups. Yeah.
All right. Hopefully that we get some people watching, but if not, then we'll share even more to the groups once this is over because it's there. But we're so excited tonight. This is pretty much what would you say, a professional launch of Whiskey Live. Yep. What we're going to try and do is it's going to be on the second and fourth Fridays of each month. If some of the Scotchy Bourbon boys, like for instance, will be able to bring Super Nash on consistently because we can just pull them on the screen. So it's really kind of cool that the start,
That's right.
the start of this Whiskey Live tasting is happening with us all together down in the podcast studios of the Scotchy Bourbon boys.
All right. Yeah.
So, if you guys leave comments, we can see the comments. Feel free to comment and talk with us. One of the other things that you might try is to share that with Messenger with a couple people like Alan Bishop, Jolie, and Greg Schneider. Just share it to them on Facebook Messenger if you can do that. I don't know. Can you?
All right.
That would be the other thing. So,
just a little bit, if you hadn't mentioned, you mentioned the proof on this or anything?
no, we haven't mentioned anything.
All right. Just to give everybody a little bit of info on the Michter small batch, it is a 91.4 proof. There is no age statement. And although the mash bill is undisclosed, it's pretty much pretty much agreed upon, but by several people in the industry and all. It could be consisting of maybe somewhere around 79% corn, 11% rye, and 10% wheat.
Wow, that's a really cool getting that mash bill out, because you do a little bit of research, right?
Yeah, and like I say, that's just a general guess at
the
at
unofficial.
It because that's an unofficial guess at it.
So
because they don't disclose their mash bills.
Pretty powerful.
Okay, you know what? That's just too little.
MSRP on it, you said you knew the price on it. Jeff, what does it run about?
$49.99 here in Ohio.
There you go.
Damn, oh, that's really good.
How did you even taste it?
It did. It's all fulfilled my mouth.
Just
My mouth is fucking fulfilled. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Well, here with the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, we love to give out information and we love to do events like this. And that's one of the cool things. One of the other things that we do is we go places and go to distilleries. And in the future, this last past Kentucky Bourbon Festival, we had a bus tour ride that we all went on. But we also had 4 guests that were able to come along and be a part of the bus tour. And we went to 3 awesome distilleries. We started out as Maker's Mark in the morning, got really rained on, but then we went to the Preservation Distillery where Mark Jackson showed us around, and it was fantastic.
He gave us the
It
royal
was
tour,
awesome.
let me tell you. If you ever get a chance to go there, do it.
And then we finished up at the Bardstown Bourbon Company with Greg Schneider showing us he's the master distiller of Chicken Cock Whiskey. So that was really kind of some cool ass shit that was going on. So anyways, going a little bit further. So we've got this. You were talking about the mash bill. Now, when I do when I do some tastings on the Friday night live tastings, I have my whiskey. It's my notebook, and then it's all the information. So 91.4 proof, the price, it was $12.17, where it originated, all the different things, and then we've got our Scotchy Bourbon Boys, and then we have a rating system. the rating system on our podcast is a lot different. We call it barrel bashing. Here we'd like to do a more standard rating system. We will rate each one of us will individually rate the nose, the taste, the body, and the finish. The score for each category can be up to 25. We total them each per person, the nose, taste, body, finish. We come up with a total. We add it up. We divide by tonight 5, and we try and do drunk math. That's kind of a lot of fun. And we come up with our rating system for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Now, do you want to taste this one first, and then while we're evaluating, because we're going to taste both of them and rate both of them, see which one's better, see what our score is for the first bottle, and then the newer 2021 bottle, and I believe this is a 2020 bottle. So once we do that, we'll have the two to compare to see which one's better, but also you will read about the history in between. So let's get on with what we're getting here. Do we have tasting notes on this? Did you have that or not really? Or are we just the tasting notes?
We're the
tasting notes, but I've got them right there if you want them. I can give them to you right quick.
All right. So, nose. Now, when you're tasting in a Glencairn, this is the ultimate tasting glass. There's a bunch of things you can do. I don't think I filled it. Yep. You can turn it on its side and roll it around to get it on, and then you pick it up and you can see the legs as it drops back into the glass. This is, as far as color, I think it's a caramely color. I would call that caramel. It's more than amber. It's a little bit more. It's not as red. It's a little more yellow, right? Wouldn't you say? So I'll mark that off as a caramel color. That's the first thing you can kind of do. Then you could see how it holds in the glass. Now at 91.5, and this is their small batch. A lot of small batches don't cling to the side as
I
much.
have some very nice legs.
This is clinging pretty good for a 94 proof.
Mm-hmm.
But you get some nice legs and that kind of thing happening in there. So it's the glass is teardrop shaped, everybody, because that allows the aroma or the nose or the flavors to come up, and the smells that come up, and then allows it then also have the ethanol not be as strong as if it's just coming straight out of the glass. Now, you have a dominant nostril, believe it or not, but that dominant nostril can change week to week. So sometimes your dominant nostril might be the left, sometimes it might be the right. So usually what I like to do is, now when you go to smell, you can smell with your mouth closed, but then the next smell, open your mouth and breathe through your nose and mouth at the same time. Now, a lot of times when you open your mouth, you can taste the smell a little bit in the back of your throat and that type of thing, which is kind of a cool experience. Now, this nose is very typical of a small batch. The small batch is definitely a higher brand than let's just say, your straight brands of Jim Beam, Jack Daniels. But the small batch is made small. It's going to give you a little bit of nose, but it's still not going to give you something seriously complicated usually.
And to go along with that, the tasting notes that I've got, I pull them up from breakingbourbon.com. And on the nose, it says this bourbon presents a very straightforward, light, and pleasant nose of new oak, corn, grain, and raisins were all present, but they were all very subtle.
We've actually got... Look at that. We've got comments.
All right.
That's awesome. This is really cool. Hey, William, I saw that you joined us on Facebook. Subscribe to our our YouTube stream. Welcome to us on YouTube. Then we got also, what's the last one? Where did he go? Okay, show. Hey, Kevin Barber. A little bit late, but that's okay. Tasting along with us.
I'm picking up really, really sweet oak.
I
Very
get
sweet.
sweet oak, a little caramel, and then I actually, because I'm going to sit here, I get like a cherry cigar. I actually get like a cigar. I've never got a cigar
I'm
smell
getting-
before in my
yeah.
life.
That's exact. You nailed it.
It's
That's
sweet, Swisher sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I've never got that before, but
Yeah.
I just all of a sudden, it just when I went back after I
and
was
it's
so excited we
delicate.
had
It's not
comments.
it's not
It was
overpowering.
great to have comments,
really
isn't it?
delicate,
It's-
yeah.
it's great.
Really light.
So, that's delicious. Feel free, Willie and Kevin. Let us know if you're drinking along the small batch. Let us know what you think. We like to interact.
I'm not picking up the cigar myself, but I am picking up that really sweet,
Subtle
sweet,
cherry or
light
something.
cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm not getting cigar smoke. It's more of a smooth, pleasant tobacco aroma. It's not like a burning.
All right.
like the fresh rolled tobacco leaf.
All right. So let's drink it. It's delicious. Now that all my taste buds are coming back, there's a lot of sweet bourbon.
Yeah.
I think I appreciate being able to taste after not being able to taste, and things are just tasting so much better. I get the cherry on the back of my on the finish on the back of cherry oak.
I'm getting honey.
I get
Sweet,
a little
sweet
honey on the
honey
front.
yeah, on the front.
All right.
And corn.
Mostly sweet oak and corn. Lots
corn,
of
yeah.
corn. Corn.
Almost corn on the cob.
And
Yep.
oak,
a lot of
yeah.
corn and the sweet oak.
Maybe a little butter. What do you think?
Like buttered corn. Yeah. There you
It's
go.
got that buttery mouthfeel. Yeah. Nice.
All right. So let's do the first nose taste. I gotta split this. I'll just do it. Okay. So since I wrote it out, Super Nash, what are you getting on the nose, and what would you rate?
And we're doing this more of a traditional.
Yeah, to 25 each
25,
category.
I want to say maybe about on the nose about an 18.
Okay, Super Nash gives the nose an 18. Next is Roxy.
Roxy. So the nose isn't super complex. It's just like the Breaking Bourbon said. It's light. It's sweet. But it's not a nose that like knocks your socks off or anything. So I will give the nose a 17.
Easy tobacco. All right, Kevin says easy tobacco, sweet candy cherry,
Yeah.
light caramel, and toffee. Yeah,
That's
we're
exactly
right
it.
there
Yeah.
with you, Kevin. All right, what'd you get it?
17.
17. I guess Xavier is next.
Pretty much the consensus there with the light cherry and like a fresh tobacco aroma, like if you just took the the plastic or the cigar out of the case, not a burning aroma. I get a little bit of that tobacco fades to oak. I don't know if I can really discern it that well, but there's definitely a couple levels of taste there. But as far as the nose, I'm getting all those things. But it's really light. You really have to search for it to find it. So with that, I'm going to give the nose a 16.
All right, Karen, Mrs. Xavier.
Mrs. Xavier.
It's a pleasant nose. It's like everybody says, it's not overpowering. But there's nothing that really like pops you.
Okay. Yeah.
I do get that cherry taste. A little bit of sweetness. I don't know if I would call it buttery corn, but I do get a sweet taste. Not a cherry sweet, but it's something else. I'd say about a 17.
17 for nose. And Tiny. I was going to give it like a 15 until I smelled that cigar, and I've never smelled that, so I give it a 19. All right, taste. Let's just go in order. Super Nash, we'll reverse on the next one.
I kind of like the taste on it, but it's not very complex. Very mild, but it's got a couple of flavors in there that I like, and very sweet, and good mouthfeel to it. I'm going to say, I'm going to go with a 17.
17
on the taste, yeah.
All right, Young Nose. Roxy.
Young Nose isn't here.
Of course, but Mr. Picky's here.
So probably out of all 4 categories, the taste would be the highest scoring one for me.
Yeah?
Out of all 4. So because of that, I'm going to give it a 20. Because we need to have somewhere to go.
Okay, a 20.
All right.
I really like the sweet oak and that buttery corn taste
Yeah,
that this small batch has.
Cool.
excellent.
Yeah.
That goes to Xavier.
Again, I'm really not getting the corn, but I'm getting, like I say, the tobacco to oak, some cherry, maybe a little vanilla in there. It's a good taste, but not a great taste. I'm going to call it an 18.
Mrs. Xavier.
I get the burning on my tongue right in the front.
So when does that ever happen?
Only when I have rye. But I know this isn't a rye. So that kind of like overpowers anything else that I'm able to taste. I don't know, I'd say about a 17 on the taste.
All right.
All right, Tiny, what do you give it? An empty glass?
I'm undecided. I need more. Oh, ooh, a little spillage. Boop, boop, spillage. In here, I've got the
Straw.
spillage. I got it. Okay, there's a napkin. All right. That's because I'm fucking messy. Anyway.
That's true.
All right, so I like the taste of Michter's. Actually, like I said, getting my taste back, I actually like Michter's even more than I did the first time. I thought Michter's was just an average bourbon going around. Coming down, I just wasn't always impressed with it. I was impressed with their toasted barrels and their very expensive toasted rye and their double barreled and their barrel proofs, but their regular expression wasn't always. But this tonight, off of that sitting for a while, and it's been sitting for about a year, I get a lot of caramel, extra caramel in there. I'm getting a lot of cherry. So on this one, I would have to agree with my wife Roxy. I'm going with the 20.
All right. Well, now that everybody's tasted it, this is the tasting notes that I got from Breaking Bourbon.
And we didn't read them.
And we didn't read them, but that's kind of good because now everybody's given them, and this is what they gave.
Okay.
On the palate, can best be summed up as a sweet with good mouthfeel. Sweet corn, honey, and vanilla are immediately noticeable when you take a sip. The palate comes off as a young whiskey and hasn't spent a lot of time in the barrel. So everybody pretty much picked up on that, except each person kind of got a little bit of something else extra off of it too.
Well, it's like I've been finding, and this is you can tell me I'm full of shit if you want. I don't care, but I'm finding that some of the whiskeys that don't spend a lot of time in the barrel, like they taste a little bit immature. You let them sit with air, and the time in the bottle actually makes them better.
Helps it open up.
That's just my particular.
Helps the flavors open up.
Okay,
I agree with you.
You can tell though that it hasn't absorbed a lot of
The
the
oakiness,
sugars or the sugars out of
the tannins and stuff out of the wood.
Yeah, which can be a double-edged sword,
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you.
All right, body. Let's go. Now,
right,
Kevin
let's flip
Baker,
around.
who's tasting
That's
along
you.
with us, sweet cornbread drizzled with honey, finishes vanilla and wood spice for him. Excellent, Kevin.
What do you think about the body on it there, Tiny?
Why? Oh, we're gonna go out of order.
Yeah,
we'll
we're
switch
switching it
around.
up, yeah.
All right, just like any small batch, it's a medium body. Usually, to get those full bodies. So it's the roof of your mouth, it's your tongue, but your cheeks, under the tongue, all the areas are. So it's like a 50-50 body. It's a pleasant as far as what you're tasting. I mean, I really, when it comes to body, some of the things that you can actually, what you talk about as far as body goes, I look at it as how much the flavor encompasses my whole mouth, and then I also look for the mouth feel. But I'm not incorporating taste into body because taste is separate. So it can be a shit bourbon, like when you're tasting, or a shit scotch, but if it's fulfilling the whole mouth, you can actually have a nice body on it, but it can be crappy in taste. Just my opinion there. So in this, I'm looking at, this is probably right in the middle. I mean, honestly, out of 25, I mean, I'll give it a 15 for the body.
Okay. All right.
There you go. So the next person would be Ms. Xavier.
I'd say a 15 too. It's like you get a flash of
It's yes.
the body, but then it's gone.
Right. And then also it's just yeah, and for it to go all into your cheeks and under, it's like the spice kind of and there's no spice except for roof. It's kind of right in the middle, roof of your mouth and tongue, not under your tongue, not around.
Yeah, I just get it right in the
even
middle of my
even
tongue.
doing the
That's
chew, it just doesn't expand out. I'll give you that.
Xavier.
Unfortunately, what I pick up in the body is more of an oak bitterness. What little sweetness, everybody's talking about sweetness. I guess I'm the contrarian indicator tonight. I didn't think it was that sweet to begin with, and I'm picking up more bitterness on the body and, in the roof of my mouth, along the sides of my tongue, and just as you swish it around. So the body, we'll give it, I don't know, a 12.
All right. Roxy. Do I need more?
No, I'm good.
No, do I need more?
No.
Are you sure? Because I like this.
I would agree
You do
with
have to finish up.
the body. It just stays in the front of your mouth. It doesn't really make it to the back or to the sides of the tongue or even far beyond the roof of the mouth. It's just right behind your teeth and right on the tip of your tongue. So I will give it a 14.
A 14.
14.
All right. Because here comes Super Nash.
All right. Well,
What's he going to do? Is he going to
pretty much
blow this
have
whole
to-
thing up, or is he going to just go with the consensus?
I pretty much have to agree with most everybody, but one other thing that I like to incorporate in the body is what it does in the glass, the thickness of it, and how well it does in the glass. And this, at first and all, when it gets in the glass, it does cling to the glass pretty well and looks pretty syrupy and all, but the legs do quickly go away. And the same thing with the mouthfeel. It hits your tongue and gets to the middle of your mouth, but then all of a sudden it quickly goes away, and it doesn't reach the sides of my mouth or to the back of it. So I actually I have to give it a 15 too.
A 15. All right. Finish is short to medium. It's good. Nice taste left over. So the finish, I give a 19. I don't mind the finish. I like what's happening, but it's not exceptional because it's pretty short. Short to medium.
Yeah, it's a very short finish.
Okay.
And I mean, there's some oak that lingers on, so that's probably its saving grace as far as a score being really dismal for a finish and one being okay. So I will give it the same score I gave the nose, a 17.
17. Mrs. Xavier.
It hits your tongue and gets to the... All right, that's my fault. My bad.
Mrs. Xavier, what do you give the finish on this?
The finish is so short for me. I give it a 15. It's like I swallow it and it's gone.
Yep. Okay. Xavier, coming on around.
Finish is definitely, they mailed it in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I'm not.
You mark the
overwhelmed,
scores?
I'm not underwhelmed. I'm just whelmed. It's sort of there.
There you go.
I guess it's a little better than the body because it recovers from some of the bitterness that I was picking up. So I'll bump the finish up to a 14.
Okay. All right. To me, this finish it's finishing right along with the proof, right along midway along with everything else. It gets to the back. There's no hug on it whatsoever to me. All the flavors and everything pretty much dissipates once it gets right to the back. And so I actually think that it's kind of weaking on the finish, so I'm giving it a 14.
Okay. I'm trying. Oh my God.
And with that, since that's the last one on the finish, Breaking Bourbon, this is what they have to say about the finish. The finish is light and lingering. Notes of oak, white pepper, honey, peaches, and raisins lingered for a while in my mouth, with the predominant flavor being the white pepper that brings a subtle heat and spice to the finish, which I think we all pretty much kind of disagreed with that.
We're picking up the oak and
yeah, and we got the cherry. We didn't get the peach or the
No,
or the raisin.
I do not get peach.
Yeah, I
don't find the peach.
Yeah, I didn't find the peach,
peppery
but
with the,
Karen got
Yeah,
the pepper.
I didn't get the peach either.
I got maybe just a little bit of pepper, very very slight bit, but not very much at all. And I never did pick up any raisin in it.
Mm-mm.
But
I tried to taste raisin, but I couldn't. I couldn't
but
find raisin.
like I say, that's one thing about whiskey is being in different barrels and all that. Pick up different flavors and so we could have had the one that picked up the cherry flavor.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Excellent.
All right. I think that was a pretty good review on that one.
Yeah, so let's, are you doing the totals?
Yeah.
All right.
Trying to get some other people in. I tried to share it with Greg. Were you able to share it through Messenger?
I
with
sure did.
Jolie?
I shared it with Greg and
Okay.
Jolie. And
Okay.
a bunch in the calculator right there.
I got my
She got,
calculator.
okay. Take my phone away there, Tony.
Well, this is cheating. We're supposed to be doing drunk math.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. All right, let Tiny do drunk
I can't
math.
read your printing here.
give me that thing all added up in my hand. It's quicker than that.
How can you not read? What can't you read?
Oh, I thought that was a
1-7?
yeah.
Probably you're scribbling.
Oh, you fuck off.
Yeah, you're a scribble.
Yeah, he plainly told us that in the car,
What's
didn't
my
he?
phone doing?
473.
Anything
All right.
you want to say why she's doing some addition
No, she's
here?
got it all. She's got it down.
That's not added right.
Okay, 18 and 17 is 20, 35,
35.
45, 50, 64.
64, yeah.
It's like drunk math. Fun drunk math.
64.
All right, so that's the first one. So everybody grab a little bit of water.
64.
Rinse your Glencairns out. Let's go because we're going to do the newer bottle and we're going to see if that makes a difference because in my opinion what's been happening has been okay, it's okay. Just go take care of it as she cuts off the whole line. What's been happening is with newer bourbons and the aging process has just been getting better. That's all I'm going to say. The Rickhouses in Kentucky are aging bourbon better. So from year to year, these batches just seem to get better. One example is Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare is one of the batches that just gets better. I was not a fan of Eagle Rare up until this year. It's just that simple. It's way better than it's ever been. So that's the kind of stuff that happens.
Ooh, you down that like you did that whiskey last night.
It's water. I downed it like it was water. Oh, it was. Can we be any more obvious? All right, so this is the exact same thing, but a year later. This is a 2021 Michter's. I picked this up in August. So let's see if there is a difference, folks.
Oh, I hope there is.
I might have 5 of these.
Good.
Of course. I've got you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll drink her water.
Tiny, you do that so well.
All right.
Roxy is taking care of the technical difficulty that is my grandchild.
All right.
She woke
is
up.
Wonderful.
So anyways, yes. All right, so as we go about this, do you have anything on the history of Michter's? You do, don't you?
Yeah. Well,
We could do a little bit of a fun fact.
you got your glasses?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
You want me to read
I
it?
can read it.
Yeah, we got it taken care of. You didn't think I was going to let you read it. I was just wondering if you had your glasses.
You should turn up your brightness.
All right. The history of Michter's. The rich history surrounding Michter's harkens back to America's first distilling company, established in the 1700s by John Schenck, a Swiss Mennonite farmer who settled his family in Pennsylvania's Blue Mountains Valley. With his farm producing an abundance of rye, in 1753 Schenck decided to build a small distillery to convert his excess rye to whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Which that harkens back to several thousand years. That's what they started doing with excess product then. Okay. In time, this little distillery, with its hand-hammered stills, would come to produce what would someday be known as the famous Michter's whiskey. This particular rye whiskey was so valued that when the Revolutionary War broke out, General George Washington purchased it to fortify his men as they hungered down in their camp through the long, brutal winter at Valley Forge. Michter's, as the saying goes, was the whiskey that warmed the American Revolution, and it continues to warm today's resurgent American whiskey revolution.
And it's totally agreed.
Yep.
All right, so
Always been one of my favorites.
I can tell already, and it's crazy, but this nose is way better.
Well, let's find out.
This nose is way more caramel.
Oh, wow.
Vanilla frickin' fucking pudding. It's fantastic. It's just a different.
I'm getting toffee.
It's
already,
almost
too.
toffee, vanilla pudding,
I'm getting toffee. I'm
caramel.
Yep.
Oh, just
I'm not
pure
getting
vanilla.
any floral or fruit.
That nose has gone up at least. It's gone. It's a 22.
This is a really good nose. I'm getting cinnamon.
Now,
Not me.
we're going to be rating.
We're gonna
this
be
one
rating.
too?
Yeah, we're rating it.
Flip the page. And
No, I've got
Oh,
it.
you got- you
I've
got
got
it
it.
set to
I've
where
got
you
it
can
set.
write
Yeah,
beside it?
yeah.
Okay.
I can't help that my wife took over and did the totals, like not caring, kind of thing. But
You'll just have to work with it.
yeah, I
Start-
always have.
start one
That's what I
last
do.
column for
I'm
there.
good at math.
I'm great at math too. All you've missed is a little bit on the nose. The nose is spectacular.
Yes, it is. Very much different.
Hi.
Hi.
Look
Welcome back,
all of a sudden
Roxy.
Roxy,
Welcome back, Roxy.
popped right back up.
Roxy in the house.
Popped up.
She just popped right back up.
Oh, all
We
right.
need to make that
All
sound
right.
effect.
So
like
we haven't
that
gotten.
Jerry
We're on the nose
Jerry.
part.
Yeah.
All right.
See, now I smell more tobacco.
I smell no tobacco. It's just caramel, vanilla pudding.
Now I smell
I
it.
got toffee.
See, that's just so weird.
I didn't smell it on the other one.
I drank your water just so you could have.
Oh, okay.
I love this one. All right, let's taste. If this tastes as good as it smells.
And I do smell the toffee, caramel, toffee.
I mean,
Butterscotch.
come on. It's not even the same whiskey.
Oh, that's good.
It's not the same.
It tastes totally
Oh,
different.
wow.
It's not the same. That is not the same. They're the same brand, same
That
bottle
same
year to year.
sweet oak profile is there though.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It is. No,
Yeah.
it is.
No, there's
And
it's
the corn. It's just
way fucking better.
okay. Yeah.
Even the finish is long.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
It's-
it's a vanilla pudding finish.
and there's a
More
hug.
caramel. Yeah.
There's a hug that the other one didn't have.
Yeah.
There's
I agree.
everything
I
that
don't
the
get a
other one
hug in
didn't have.
this at all.
You don't?
Not at all.
Oh, I get a nice.
I get a hug off
Kentucky
of this
hug.
one, and yeah, I'm getting more caramel, and I'm getting toffee off of this.
Yeah,
one.
this hug
And-
goes-
and cup.
And the
corn.
pepper, I'm getting more on the side than
Yeah.
in the front this time.
Yeah, this a better body. It goes more into your mouth, not quite to your cheeks, but more than the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hug is right down to my anus. That's how far it goes.
Wow.
TMI there.
I can't agree with
Cut this
that.
guy off.
Yeah,
No,
cut
don't
him
cut
off.
my. That is just a long hug.
23 feet of small intestine.
Exactly. That's the kind of hug that you want.
All right.
All right. So let's have some more of that.
Quite an improvement over the other one.
Yeah.
All right. And now
See,
that
and
second
there-
one, I just got chocolate.
That's almost where.
Yep, chocolate. Pure.
Chocolate on everyone.
No, I do not. There's chocolate.
Where's your little ice pick?
What's an ice? Just, oh, fuck you. Oh my God. Don't bring that up again. That's
You
two
can
in a
dip
row.
your ice pick in.
You mean like this?
Yeah.
It's a bumble! Anyways, wonderful.
Listen to the last podcast, folks, and then you'll
Yeah.
understand the little inside joke
Yeah.
Yeah, the last podcast was pretty wild.
off the rails.
Sure was,
yeah.
Cornelius.
If you're going to start with first time listening to our podcast, listen to our podcast starting with the last one, and then just
Yeah.
go
Then go
out.
back from there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then maybe you'll make the first one, but please, the first season was a little rough. But anyways,
But last night's was awesome.
yeah, that was insane.
It was insane and hilarious and fun and just
Quotable.
off the
It was
chain.
quotable.
And it
I
was
was
actually
quoted.
quotable by a distiller.
All right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's start off. Let's Super Nash start us off on what you think this nose is.
I'm liking this nose, like I say, a lot better than the other one, and I'm picking up a little bit more, and especially that toffee and caramel and corn and oak, and I'm having to give this one a 20.
Roxy.
18.
She's upped at 1.
Yeah, it's not that much
Xavier.
better. It's a little better, but it's not that much better.
You pick up the tobacco. I just pick up vanilla pudding and caramel.
This
This is like creme brulee.
is a great nose. More caramel, more maybe vanilla, some cinnamon perhaps. There is, I was going to disagree with you, but what you said that there's still an underlying oak there. You're right. It's there. I had to get it on about the third taste. It's a great nose. I'm going to give the nose. I was going to disagree with you. What you
Turn that down.
There's an echo in here.
Feedback! Feedback!
I'm
Oh
sorry.
my God.
God, that
What
guy has
the
my fault.
shit?
That
How
guy-
unprofessional.
That guy had a great voice.
That guy has a
didn't
great voice.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the nose a 21.
Oh, nice.
21.
Mrs. Xavier.
I'm going to give it a 20. I give the caramel, the toffee, and the tobacco.
Well, I gave it a 22. I trumped y'all. No. That's what it's all about. Me trumping you. That's it.
Okay.
So I'm always
Make
going to
whiskey
want.
great again?
Is he donalding us?
Is whiskey been bad ever?
Yeah.
No. It's like, no. I gave it a 22. I love the nose. But everybody pretty much upped their score. Xavier upped his score the most, and I'm up my score from a 19 to which was 3. Mrs. Xavier was 3. Xavier was 4. Roxy was 1, and Super Nash was 2. So there you go. It's already a different nose. There's no doubt. But now we go to the taste.
All right. On the taste, I'm liking this taste, like I say, a lot better. Much more
Oh my God.
sweeter.
Oh my
Sweet
God.
oak,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
toffee,
What?
It's so good.
caramel, vanilla.
He's saying vanilla.
I gotta give this one a 19.
Whoa.
All right. Roxy.
And I'm going to just bump it up 1 and give it a 21.
Woohoo!
Because it's
All right.
definitely a much more complex taste.
Well,
Few more flavors in there than the previous. Still sweet, but I'm getting a little bit of that tobacco, that little bit of the caramel, vanilla. Not as much of that corn, so it's not as corny as the last one, but
All right.
Corny.
corny.
I like that.
Well, I'll tell you what. I also give it a 21. I mean, this really upped its game. If this was a title fight, it would have been over. They'd have called it. That's a great taste. And the nose, the taste matches the nose. The nose gives you a hint of what it's going to taste like, and that's always high in my book for what it's worth. So yeah, 21 on the taste.
All right, Mrs. Xavier.
What was that? What did you call me? Mr. Xavier.
Mrs. Xavier.
Mrs. Xavier.
I was right there. You must have just had you must have had hearing kind of. I was like,
Come out, Mrs.
I will no. We will watch it, and I'll show you. I was like,
We have
Mrs.
playback.
Xavier, Mrs. Xavier. I
Maybe
did
the
my-
Mrs. Xavier kind of
You know what?
covered a little bit.
Quit making shit up. I'll prove it. It came out.
Okay, what's your score?
I gave it a little.
I gave it
emphasis.
a 21.
21.
Ooh.
21. Mrs. Xavier gives it a 21.
Blackjack.
It had a little bit more spice that I like.
Yep.
We got a lot of 21s across the board there.
No 21 on that, man. That is. I'm gonna.
What are you gonna throw out there, Tony?
The vanilla pudding.
How could you tell? You don't have any left.
Give me more. That's what we need to fucking do. All right, I give it a 23 because the taste.
23.
If I would include the finish, it would have probably dropped down to a 22, 21. But I'm not. I'm going to go with the taste. And then the finish also catches. It's kind of a little bit oaky for me on the finish. But we'll get into that in a little bit. All right. We're going to flip back to me for the body. I have to... I will give this body a 19 because it definitely ups its game from the other one. There's no doubt. There's a little bit more. It doesn't hit your cheeks. It's not under your tongue, but it's way further out on your tongue, way further out on your upper palate and in the back of your throat. So I give it a 19 for the body.
What's the scribbling here that I gave? It was a 14, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Why are you going?
I don't know because I usually go after you.
Mrs. Xavier.
I give it a
Was
20.
that better?
I get the body on my cheeks. I get
Good.
that
She gives it a 20.
spiciness on my cheeks.
I heard that. No, I've definitely fucked that one up.
On purpose.
Mrs. Xavier gives it a 20. All right, who's next?
You tell us.
Xavier.
I believe it's
Xavier.
once again,
It's a snake
at
draft.
the sake of being redundant, I'm going to give the body a 21. It is everything that the body on the first
Jesus.
expression wasn't. And what I like about this body is it fills your mouth. You don't get a bitterness. The sweetness carries through. You do get maybe a little bit of, I would call it neutral, where you pick up the oak again, but it's not a negative bitterness. So the body's a good body, 21.
Wonderful. If anybody who's watching wants to comment, feel free to comment. They can be run across, and we can, if your comment is awesome, we will put it up on the live stream. All right. That puts us at Roxy.
I will give the body a 19.
You guys are up in this. See,
So
once,
that's a significant increase. From
Yeah, this-
the last
like I
score.
said, it's
that's
not-
because it's
Yeah.
on the sides of my tongue, a little on the cheeks. I can even feel some in the back of my throat. So it's,
I have
definitely
to
a
agree.
much better body.
The body on this one has upped its game. I can feel it all the way across. Even the thickness in the glass is nice long legs.
It is.
where did that come from?
Martin did that too.
I did that. To
You did it to me because you should do this.
Like
It's a
she
Friday
said.
fucking night party.
Party, whiskey tasting live with
The Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
Yeah.
Woo! And what
Yes.
did you take it up to?
I'm taking this up to a 20.
A 20.
Is what I'm rating my body.
All right. So the finish.
Well, no, not my body. the body of this whiskey. I wouldn't rate my body.
I'll rate your body 3.2.
Kind of like that beer I used to drink way back in the army
It's like-
in the
but-
early 80s.
but I give you-
3.2 beer.
But I give you 25 on personality.
Thank you, sir. I'll take that.
And as long as you keep all your clothes on, I'm cool.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right. So let's
Does
go
that
to
come with dollars?
Let's go to the finish. So the finish this last time, the other one was okay finish, but but this is medium to long, and finishes with vanilla pudding.
Yeah.
So,
He loves vanilla pudding.
And chocolate.
And chocolate.
all right, we got cheers. We got cheers, y'all, from Willie Cox and also Kevin Barber. Gave
Cheers.
us cheers.
to y'all.
Cheers, everybody.
Thank y'all for watching, and
Yes,
glad you
appreciate
joined
it.
in with us on this whiskey live tasting.
So there's not a lot of finishes that have vanilla pudding for me, and it shows up 10, 15 seconds at the end. Like, I drink it, and I've got the sweet oak that's there, which is normal for me, which is a 19, but then all of a sudden I get a taste of vanilla pudding in my mouth. And
Kind of lingers.
I
there,
love
don't it?
fucking vanilla pudding. And if you could put pudding skin on this, it would be 100. You know what I mean?
And
but you
chocolate.
can't. Well, there was some chocolate. So, anyways, yeah, fuck you. Anyways, I am gonna rate this a 22.
All right.
I had this all set up to do whatever, and then you finished it off and just
And
to
what?
call my word.
Blah 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 blah
you.
blah.
So next is Mrs. Xavier. Da da da! Right?
What's she rating the box?
She's rating the
Finish.
finish.
The finish.
Where the fuck are you, man?
Did you give a finish?
No, but she gave a
I'm
body.
lost. I don't know.
Oh my god!
Hey,
That's what
Holy
we're
shit!
here for your
Yeah,
brothers
yeah,
to
yeah.
keep
Oh,
you
that
straight.
Exactly.
You need to sip
Yeah,
some
hello.
more whiskey.
I was having an out-of-body experience,
I don't
folks.
get
Sorry
it.
about that. I'm back now.
We're past the body
Oh
now. We're
my
on to the
God.
finish.
Yeah,
And
there we go.
it's a very
We're out of the body and
Yeah,
on to the
that
finish.
was my out-of-body experience. I'm like, wait a minute.
You know,
I'm lost.
I love it a lot better, but I just don't get that nice warm hug that I like. So I'm going to give it a 20.
All right, it's still a 5-point increase. Oh, Xavier, we are talking
Finish, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
all right.
You already
I learned to the
Quickly.
finish.
On to the finish. I think the finish is everything that the last finish wasn't, and it's consistent all the way through. So once again, I'm going to say 21. This is one of the most consistent bourbons we've tasted in a long time.
Cool. It has been a long time
Yeah.
since we've had whiskey live tasting. And
Yes, it's been.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, sure is good.
Roxy, what are you thinking?
So
on
the finish is a lot longer than the first one that we tried. But it matches up to me with the taste. The taste and the finish were sort of the same to me as far as quality, so I'll give it a 21. And I get some oak, and there's a lot of sweetness. There's some of that dark cherry on the finish. There's
Uh-huh.
some vanilla, lots of vanilla.
Go.
Any
I-
chocolate?
Martin.
Actually, this
Vanilla
the
pudding.
finish on
Vanilla.
this
Not
actually
pudding, but just vanilla,
stands out to me,
like vanilla extract.
and I'm gonna have to pick it up on mine just a little bit because, like I say, it comes across, gives me a nice little hug that I didn't get off the first bottle. Fills my mouth sides, front to back. I get all the flavors go from front, and I'm getting them on the finish. It kind of lingers there too. That sweet vanilla, a little bit of oak, a little bit of spice, and I'm getting that little bit of cherry all the way back to the finish. So I'm going to have to give this finish a 21.
Hey, 21. I'll drink to that.
All right. Hey, Blackjack.
A 21 on that finish. Holy shit. We went from 14 to 21. That's a
Yeah.
7-point increase. All right.
Yeah.
As did I.
20.
Yeah.
39.
If this was a title
49,
fight, they'd have stopped it a
59,
long
69,
time ago. I mean, this is
79.
comparison.
So
Absolutely.
Martin gives it an 80. 18, 21, which is 39,
That's pretty good drunk math, Jeff.
plus 19, 49, 58, and 21, 79 for Roxy. 21, 21, 21, and 21, which is 84.
That makes
He's
sense.
very
Yeah.
consistent.
I'm a simple guy.
20,
so-
41, 61, 81 for Mrs. Xavier, and 20, 45 plus a 19, which gets me 64,
64.
74, 84, 86. So let's do the math
Come
here.
in on the short end of the stick on this one.
What do you mean? I'm the high end.
86.
It's a high. 80,
Oh,
79,
yeah,
84, 89. It's like, what the f-
You're having your out of body experience.
I hope you don't judge. I hope you're not judging sizes when we're measuring here.
Everybody watching this saying, what were these guys doing before they started drinking?
Yeah.
We were comparing.
We were drinking before
Yeah,
we
were
started
drinking before we started drinking. It's like they're lost. Good God.
Okay. 84. Oh. Plus 90 and 76 equals 410
Who had a
divided by
91?
5.
You put 91 in there.
Where did I? Oh, just no. But I put 91 and then put 76.
Oh, okay.
The final score of that was an 82.
82.
So let's folks, that's exactly what we're trying to portray here is 100% what's going in the bottle in 2020 and what went in the bottle in 2019 based off of aging. The master
2019
distiller
or 2021.
and
Yeah.
2020. Wait, this is 2020 and this is 2021.
Yeah.
There is no 2019.
Yeah.
Where did I come up?
You
Okay,
said
I don't know where you
2019.
yes,
came up with
okay, sorry
2019
folks
from,
about the
but-
2019, but this is a 2020 and a 2021, and what's being put in the bottle each year is going to get better because the aging process of what's going on in Kentucky, as we all know, it's getting warmer. Whatever the reason is, who the fuck cares? The aging process there is getting better. The aging process here in Ohio is getting better. The aging process in fucking Wisconsin and Alaska is getting better as far as when it comes to whiskey. So what I've been finding is that as these go along, they're not going to put worse bourbon in there, but if they can improve from year to year to make a better bourbon, they sure as fuck are gonna. They're gonna make it better. And in this case, Michter's made it better in 2021. There's
They
no
sure
doubt.
did.
To the point
Oh,
where
Just to
Really?
clarify too, is that on these small batches, they're blending several amounts of barrels together to try to consistently keep the same flavor, right?
which Jim Beam
And
does,
all the big
but-
distilleries are
which
are
they
doing.
do.
Yeah.
They do it on huge, massive amounts
Massive
of things.
amounts.
Scale,
But it's
yeah,
but
large
people
scale.
don't understand what type of a fucking skill that is.
Exactly.
That
And
palate.
That's what we're getting at, is that their palate and what they're doing, their blending skills, plus what they're doing in aging in the barrel is picking up.
Yeah.
And it's got to.
100%.
So
right.
our average score went from a
65.8.
65.8 to an 82.
So, and yes, and that's what you're talking about. And for an 82 on a small batch, in my opinion, we're not Jim Murray. I mean, not at all. And what you like is what you like. But we just put together a consensus of 5 different people. That's what we are. The Scotchy Bourbon Boys put them all together and came up with an average score of 82 on that 2021, which I would highly suggest to go out and buy. Not for 1 second did I not like this. This is an above average bourbon. 50 is an average bourbon. People don't always say that enough. And so at 65.8, it's an above average bourbon.
As
But at
anybody
82,
can tell,
We'll
anybody
drink all
can
of the
tell.
2020
He did
Wait a
not
second.
not like this bottle.
Wait a second. Let's just do a bottle kill right now.
But yeah, it's all of us have different palates, different nosing skills, and especially the ladies, but which are much better than us guys, worn out skills.
I think the
But,
ladies have a much finer tuning.
yes, absolutely.
Attenuation
But
of taste.
we're just trying to put
You have a better nose.
bring
than
them
me.
all together
I don't
just to give
smell a
you, the people out
never
here,
have.
something to go on. You know, when you're going out there and you're choosing your whiskeys and your bourbons and your ryes, just to help you along, and we're having fun doing it too at the same time. And hope you're having fun when you come in and join us to do this.
Amen.
And hope you'll come back and join us again.
Yeah, and you learn a little bit about how
Yeah.
to taste whiskey and you can take your whiskeys that you have in your collection and give them, rate them yourself and
Yeah,
have something to compare them to.
This is a really
And a
cool
little-
thing
and
to
a
do
little
when
bit
you're
of-
tasting. This is basically a whiskey
journal.
tasting journal. And I've got a lot of times it doesn't work out, but they're in there. And this tonight was a detailed thing of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys doing our whiskey live tasting.
And one other thing, we also try to bring you a little bit of history on the distilleries and some background on the bottles themselves or the bottlings and things like that. So help you kind of learn a little bit and, and help us learn a little bit at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, a special thanks to Kevin Barber. He watched all the way through. He was participating.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks,
He's
Kevin.
finishing. Now,
Cheers.
wait. Now he's finishing up with a Glenmorangie 12-year.
Oh,
Because
yes,
because
yes.
we do,
That's good
but
Scotch.
that's because we are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys,
That's
and he's
right,
finishing with the
nice.
Scotch part.
Meringue's good stuff.
But remember, www.scotchybourbonboys.com. Check us out. All the bios and everything are up
Yes.
there. Whiskey Live. We will be back hopefully in 2 weeks or actually the second Friday in January. That's what we're looking to do. So I think that might be the first Friday. Next week is the 31st. So yes, so it's going to be in 3 weeks. Second Friday in January, look for us. We will announce through Zavvey what we will be tasting.
Yes.
Look forward to seeing you guys in 2022. This should be the start and kickoff. We will just keep getting better and better on how we share everything and
Yes.
amount of viewers and everything. And but remember, this is the thing. This is our motto.
Good
Now
whiskey.
give us our motto.
Good whiskey equals good friends and good times. And everybody, remember, go out there and live dangerously.
Also, have a very Merry Christmas.
Very Merry
Merry
Christmas
Christmas
to
and
everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy New
Yep.
Year.